and we do have a guest along with us to talk about, I believe, darts. Yep. So, welcome along. Thank you for having us. What kind of things within the darts league do you do?
My name's John McCulloch. I'm the league secretary. I'm responsible for putting all the fixtures together, keeping all the fixtures updated, and the any cup draws that are made. We make the cup draws at our monthly meetings. Responsible for getting all that on the website as well. We do have a Paisley Darts website run by League Republic. I'm responsible for keeping all of that updated and basically making sure everything runs the way it's supposed to at all the tournaments.
Good. So how does the league start format work? I see there's two leagues. There's a Renfrew League and a Paisley League.
Yes, there currently is two leagues. There used to actually be three. There was a separate Johnston District League, but the league itself was getting smaller and smaller, and we weren't able to actually sustain a league any longer. We approached Paisley, who had been going a lot longer than us, to amalgamate with them, and we're now just one Paisley and District Darts League.
So is there no plans forward to amalgamate with the Renfrew one as well, or are they quite independent?
Renfrew's a different entity altogether.
Right.
They're affiliated to Scottish Darts. We're an independent league.
Right.
It used to be in the Renfrew League, you had to your premises and your venues had to be within Renfrew. That's now changed, but obviously with that being the ruling as it was, no other teams from outside Renfrew are allowed to play in it.
Right.
And with the number of teams that we've now got, we've got 21 teams in our league. I think they've got either 10 or 12. It would make the league pretty unmanageable with two divisions. You'd probably need to go to three divisions.
Right. So how would new players go about joining a team within the league? What's the protocol for joining?
Basically just find a pub. Find a pub that you enjoy playing in. If some of your mates play in a pub already, go and have a wee throw with them. If you enjoy it, see where they play. If they're already in a team, just join the team. And it's just a matter of it's a £5 registration that gets you playing for the whole year.
Right.
And once the £5 paid, you're on the website to play, and it's up to you to be good enough to play in the team.
Is it quite easy to put an actual new team into leagues as well then?
Well, that can only happen once a year. We have a registration meeting every year, and the teams have to turn up at that registration meeting.
Nice.
As soon as the registration meeting is completed, I then take away all the applications and formulate the divisions and leagues.
Well, playing in the pool league myself, we've just set up a new app called Q-Score. It's kind of brought a different dimension when you've got the live feeds as the scores actually happen. They update every frame. So obviously if you're in a tussle for the league and you're looking at other teams' frames, it just gives it that wee bit more dimension, kind of adding a bit of excitement to it.
Okay.
Do you have the equivalent of that with Darts League?
No, we don't. What we do is once the games are played, I get sent the results on a Tuesday morning. The results are then updated onto the website,
right,
and everything's available live on that, so you can see what the results have been for the previous night. We record certain highlights in the games as well. So MD that's hit a 180, MD that's had a darts leg under 18 darts, and MD that's had a finishing score over 100.
It's good actually. Darts is obviously one of the major sports these days. I do love playing it myself, but I do think it's a bit overkill on the telly now. I don't enjoy it much as in the telly as what I used to, because it used to be the big tournaments. But have you seen an interest in darts now since it's such a popular thing on TV now?
There has been a huge influx over the last couple of years. There's been a big influx. The number of teams we had in the league was starting to decline. I think we were down to 18 at one point. And we're now up to 21. There's more and more people getting involved, and I think it's when they see the standard on TV, and some of these players are just hitting phenomenal standards, phenomenal numbers. And we've also got the young lad Luke Littler, who's just running riot on the scene just now.
It's like a machine, isn't he?
He's unbelievable.
It's not even 180 surfing, it's 9 darter surfing.
His talent is just incredible.
It was to watch when he just came on. We were all willing him to win it that first year, and obviously he beat in the final. But you're just like, this boy is an actual machine. He just didn't seem to miss until the final. And when you're seeing him taking out massive players left, right, and centre for fun, you're just thinking, this guy's setting a new standard for darts. He's just unbeatable now. Although, to be fair, he's probably not winning as much as what you think with the talent he's got. But I think he's going to take every single, unless there's obviously new ones come out better.
I think what happened was he was a breath of fresh air when he first started, and he was hitting numbers and going for scores that nobody else was doing, and he was just sweeping players aside. And then I think what happened was all the top pros got used to the way that he played. And they raised their standards a bit as well, and they started to match what he was doing in terms of averages and numbers and finishing and whatever. And I think it's more of they've come up to his standard now, or he's kind of levelled off at a standard.
You think back to like the Bristol days, Jockey Wilson, and then Phil Taylor took it to a new level, and you thought nobody will ever be as good. Van Gerwen kind of hit heights, but no for as long a time. And then he just came out of nowhere, and you're like, wow. And I think that in itself boosted interest in darts again for the youngsters.
Well, I think you're right in a way. When the likes of Phil Taylor, John Lowe, and all the rest of Eric Bristol, when they were competing, the technology around darts was completely different.
Yeah.
The dartboard was a completely different thing to what it is now.
The darts were massive.
the darts were thicker. They were the technology behind the darts themselves, using tungsten a lot more now. I mean, they were the first players to use tungsten. The dartboards that they used were totally different as well. They had thick wires, they had staples on them. It's a different game now altogether, and these guys just make it look so easy.
See, when you look back as well, like the wee Jockey Wilson days, it's when you're firing 3 into that 180, it looks a lot harder because it's big bombs are thrown as well. So it's an unbelievable talent, I think. And to keep doing it year after year, I think you've got to keep that mentality as well. A lot of players hit the heights, fade away again, and you don't really see them again. But the guys that come in and do it phenomenally, even like through other sports, like Stephen Hendry stuff, when they're doing it that long, at that high, I don't think people realise how good you have to be for that, mentally even.
It's trying to maintain any new player comes in with a bit of hunger in them. Yeah. And whether it's hunger to hit 180s, hunger to hit big doubles, whatever, they all come in with that hunger. It's trying to maintain that hunger, game on game, year on year, especially at their level. And the one I've always admired is Michael Van Gerwen. To keep doing what he did, he's won well over 150 top titles. Yeah. And he'd done it year after year after year. And I mean, Phil Taylor was an immense talent. But for me, I tend to think that Van Gerwen's actually, for consistency over the years, I think Van Gerwen's maybe just a shade above him.
Yeah. That's going to be the debate for years, isn't it?
Yep.
But I do think that Littler revitalised Van Gerwen a bit, because obviously he's taking his mantle, so he's won it back. So you've seen a few battles between them now, and he plays mind games as well. He's right in his head at times too. You play the mind games for the media and that before it, and try and get into the wee man's head. So it makes it a bit more exciting, I think.
At that level, there is quite a bit of psychology involved. The general public don't get to see. And I think it all starts in the practice room. Phil Taylor was a master at it. He used to put players off just when they walked into the practice room.
Well, if you remember rightly, he learned half the best at that, didn't he? Eric Bristol.
Yes, he did.
Just going back to the stories of Eric Bristol, but he used to walk in, wink at them all, say, I'm taking that trophy home. They'd all be raging with him, then he'd be taking the trophy.
Yep.
So the Darts League's been running for many years now. What improvements have been made, and what would you like to see improved?
To be honest, I don't think much has really changed in relation to the way that darts has played itself. The technology has all changed, and the lighting on the boards is far better now than it ever was. It used to be just light bulbs shone at the board.
Yeah.
Now, I would say probably every team uses a halo light of some form of tungsten light on their board to make it stand out a bit more. The technology behind the dartboards is totally different, as I said. They're thinner wires. The colours are far more vibrant, so as you can see them. Even the scoring ring is totally changed.
Yeah.
How far that can go, I don't know. I can't see them making the wires any thinner because they're like razor wire just now.
I've noticed like the Hag's been dominant for quite a few years as well, the Hag A. I seen it was quite tight last year with Pockets A, was it? Do you see that changing any time? Is it getting closer?
The Hag A have been quite dominant in the league. They've won the league for, I think it's the last 14, 15 years. There's one team that took it off them. It was the Borough Bar for Paisley.
Mm-hmm.
But the Hag A have been quite dominant in the way that they play, and that's down to their captain. He's a cracking player on his own right, Vander Stevenson, and the team that he's put around himself is just they're head and shoulders above, as a team, head and shoulders above the rest. Just this week they played Pockets A. It was only the second game of the season, and that was being touted as a possible title decider already, and it ended up going, I think it went to the last leg. Did it go to the last leg? No, it never quite went to the last leg of the match, but it ended up 5-4.
It's getting tighter between them.
Pockets are improving their team as well, as is Hag A, and every team tries to improve year on year, but it's expensive to play, to be honest, to go out on a Monday night, and obviously there's drink involved because you're playing in pubs, whatever. It can get quite an expensive night if you're standing drinking all night and playing darts, and if you've not got a driver, it's a taxi to the venue, a taxi back.
I have took a few boys from maybe the Grife down to Port Glasgow and stuff like that, so a bit of travelling involved in it as well.
That's a Tuesday night league. It's a different league again.
Is it?
That's Inverclyde League, aye.
Oh no, they came up. Well, is the Grife in that league?
The Grife were in our league.
It was a couple of years ago, mind you.
Oh, that'd be the boys getting him.
Right.
The Grife were in our league up to this. They never rejoined this year.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Well, before we go on, you want to just read off the scores and the fixtures for next week?
Yep.
What's been happening? Because there's only a couple of games in it now.
The fixtures for this week, I'll go through Division 1. We started off with Clack and Arrows beat the Midton 5-4, and that was a game that went all the way to the last doubles. We played 6 singles, 3 doubles matches. The singles being best of 5, the doubles are best of 3, and that particular match went all the way to the last leg of the last doubles before being decided. So Clack and Arrows won that one. My own team, the Hag Bar C, we beat Pockets B 5-4 in the Hag. Pockets A got beat 5-4 by the Hag A. Tartan Thunder, they hosted the Flying Horse, and the Flying Horse ended up taking the points for that match. They won 6-3, and the fifth game of the night was the Clippins at the Clippins Inn in Linwood, and they got beat by the Hashtag Bar, who beat them 7-2. Hashtag Bar were a team that moved from the Court Bar last year, and again they've strengthened their team, and they're now playing out the Hashtag in Paisley. Into Division 2, the first result there, we had Callum's beat Rumours 7-2 at home. Again, Callum's was a team that left the Keystone, moved into Callum's at the tail end of last year, so this is a new venue for them.
Right.
So they won, I think that was their first home game, they've now won. Habbies for Kilmarkin got beat 5-4 by Bishopton Social Club. Again, another game that went all the way to the last leg of the last doubles. Hashtag Bulls, who also play out a Hashtag, beat Tartan Rose 5-4. Hazelnuts and Hazel Arrows played, and the Hazel Arrows beat the Hazelnuts 6-3. And the last game was Midton Bowling Club, who beat the Clippins Inn 7-2. That was their first home game of the year as well, and they've won that one 7-2. We did have team, because we've got an odd number of teams in the second division. We had a team that didn't have a game on Monday.
So a free week then?
They had a free week. That was St Peter's. And the game's coming up for Monday. We're playing Cup, League Cup games Monday the 13th. And the first game is Bishopton Social Club versus the Midton. So this can be any team for the second division playing any team for the first. It's just an open draw for all your competitions.
Cup then.
So there is a possibility of upsets there. Callum's take on Pockets A at Callum's. McCulloch and Arrows play the Flying Horse. 2 first division teams there. Clippings Inn are playing Pockets B. Abbeys play Hazel Arrows. The Hashtag Bulls play the Hashtag Bar. Again, that's the first time they'll have met in any kind of competition.
Yeah.
Tartan Rose play St Peter's, and the Clippings play the Hag A. With the winners obviously going through to the quarter-final stage.
Good. We'll just throw in there that Ricky made a wee Ricky mistake as well, and he's printed out last year's second game, Callum.
I know, it's disappointing. We call it in the studio a Ricky error.
He's good for a couple of weeks. So what about these have a good reputation in the counties in this league?
Because we are not affiliated, we don't play. None of our players play county darts through our league.
Right.
The county is actually run from Renfrew League.
Right.
And it's the county organiser, Jamie Ward, that runs Renfrewshire out of that. We don't have any involvement in that whatsoever. Some of our players play in it. I think some of the Hag A play in it. I think some of...
So do they need to play in another team then to be...
No. As long as they can... it used to be you had to play... It used to be a kind of hierarchy of playing ability, if you like. You had to play in your league first, then you played what they call Super League to represent your league against other leagues. Then, if you'd done well enough in Super League, you would get picked for county to play against other counties, and that could lead you to, if you were good enough again, to be picked for the Scotland team.
Right. Because I suppose it's good in a way, because a lot of players that maybe want to play counties that like this league can stay in the league then, isn't it?
Yes. There is an avenue for them, because that hierarchy's been removed by Scottish Darts, so you don't have to play in the county. You don't have to be registered to the county that you're playing for.
Right. Have you ever played in the counties yourself then, or?
Many years ago, yes.
No, something you look to do again?
I was in the county B team. I never quite made it good. I wasn't really good enough for the A team.
Yeah.
But it was good memory. The away days were good.
So do you lose many teams through the season with pub closures, or do a lot of teams need to move? Because obviously the pub game's a bit dodgy now, and a lot of pubs closing down. And
generally what happens is the team that's in the pub finds another venue to play on. We have had 2 or 3 moving even this year. As I've mentioned before, the Keystone have moved. They moved out of the Keystone. One went to 2 teams in the Keystone before. One went to Callum's, one went to Hazel. The Gray Finn, that they've closed, they've changed their operation, and it's now no longer a pub. So that team eventually, they just left. A couple of the players have stayed in the league, and the boys, I think most of the boys for the Port have actually just left. Court Bar got sold, so that team left as well. They went to Hashtag. So it's just something that we have to be aware of. Can happen, and we just cope with it. If a team moves, they just get renamed and they stay in the league.
I seen that up at the Thorn when they opened up, they've got a darts. So I was asking about the team. I was thinking maybe they'll be throwing a darts team in eventually in the next few years.
It wouldn't surprise me.
It's busy every week, so I can imagine how many people are playing in it. So tell us a bit about the darts committee. How do you feel it's ran? Are they good at promoting and dealing with the funds and prizes, etc.? Is there a big end of season presentation? Do they do the different events like the singles, the doubles and all that?
We have at the moment we've got a 4-person committee. We've got a chair, a vice chair, myself as league secretary, and the treasurer. As far as promoting the darts, we don't seek promotion as such. It's generally through word of mouth.
Right.
And we generally know what pubs have got dartboards, and we will go in. Well, I go into the pubs before the season starts. We've got a bit of a gap between the season finishing and the next one starting.
Yeah.
I'll go and visit the pubs, ask if they're interested in putting a team in, give them all the paperwork that's needed, covers costs and how many players they need and whatever. And if they decide to join in, then they're more than welcome to do so.
Is the kind of cost for joining the league and the cups and stuff, is it?
Last year it worked out if you had 10 players in your team and the teams entered everything, it came about £200.
That's quite good for the season. So I suppose I can see a Thorn team getting in it, to be honest, because they're quite busy. They'll be wanting to keep it busy. There's a lot of youngsters in there, so again, maybe new boys wanting to play darts that just start their own team. And it's always good to see another pub opening up because there's that many shutting now.
Yes. No, the only issue we have is we can only take registrations once a year, obviously, when we're setting the league up. But when this season finishes, I'll certainly go up and speak to them up there and see if they're interested.
We do get a lot of thing me in the pool league. Sometimes there's an odd number in it, and there's, like you're saying, a free week. And sometimes they'll let a team come in halfway through, and they used to no play for points. It was just basically giving them a game and getting them introduced to the league. But they started last season adding points to it, and it caused an absolute drama. Some Rami, the AGM was entertaining it. As it always is, always somebody moaning about something.
To be honest, it's no something we've actually come across yet. We've not had a team that's wanted to join halfway through. How we would approach that, I don't really know.
Yeah. We just kind of used it as a friendly, just like, well, they're not playing them anyway, so it gives them a game, gets the pub full, and they get to get experience before they come into the league for real next year. So it was actually a pretty good way of getting people involved in it.
Aye.
They obviously teach them how to play all the new rules that they don't know yet and stuff like that. So it was actually pretty good. But when they put points on it, honestly, yes, the Facebook page exploded. Everybody wanting. So last formal question, a wee plug for your own team. Would you like to tell us who you play for, where you play your home games, past personal success stories that you've had, league wins, cup wins, singles or double trophy wins, and do you expect to win any more in the future? So this is your time to be rocky and get right up there.
Well, for anybody that knows me, they know what team I play on. I've played there for about 20 odd years. I'm the captain of the Hag Bar C. So obviously I play at the Hag Bar, run by one of the league sponsors. She's also the treasurer of the league itself, Kay Shand. She collects all the money, as everybody knows. She's a terror if you owe money.
The way you've got to be.
Well, she has been known to go and visit the pub and not leave the pub unless she gets paid. let's just leave it at that. I've played in the Hag for about, I think, near enough 30 years. Before that, I've been playing for nearly 50 years. I started off playing the Clintons Inn in Linwood as a teenager. I was staying in Linwood at the time, moved to Paisley, started playing in Paisley. So when I first started playing, I was playing in the Johnston League. Moved into Paisley, started playing in the Paisley League, got involved with that, played for a couple of teams in Paisley, moved back into Linwood, signed for the Linwood teams again, got involved in Johnson, and got involved in running a team, became a captain of a team, ended up being part of the committee in Johnson League. When that league folded, we moved over to the Paisley League. To be honest, I wasn't really wanting to run the league as such. Anyway, I was wanting to just be a player. But the way things happened, there was a wee bit of animosity between us and the previous committee. The previous committee stood down or ran out the room basically and said, it's up to you, you're on your own. So we basically had to restart the league again, maybe about 15, 16 years ago. Started it with 5 teams and we've now got 21 teams. So I'm quite happy with that.
It's a good growth, to be fair. Do you get a lot of argy-bargy
Not really.
No.
The games when you're on the board, it'll be the same for yourself playing pool. When you're on the board, your opponent is your enemy, and you just want to destroy them. You want to beat them as quickly as possible. But once the game's finished, we start every game with a handshake. We finish every game with a handshake, and I would say 99% of the time, it's all taken in good stead.
Yeah.
I think I could probably count the fingers of one hand the amount of arguments and trouble that I've seen through the darts. It's very rare.
Yeah. Well, what about player loyalty? Do you find a lot of players moving about, or do they stay quite loyal to their teams?
Generally they stay. It depends on what's happening with the pub itself, or with personalities in the pub. If one person goes and he's got 2 or 3 mates in the pub, they'll go with him, kind of thing.
Aye.
Depending on what's going on. We do tend to be a fairly loyal bunch, I would say, and the teams don't really change an awful lot.
No.
Even year on year, they don't change.
So do you see like when new faces come in, is it 1 or 2 in a team, or is it a full team at a time? Or
to be honest, it's generally full teams. What we've had this year, we've had a couple of new teams in this year. Hashtag Bulls are a new team this year. That was Kev Byrne, who left Tartan Rose and Paisley. His wife took over the hashtag. At hashtag, he wanted to take a darts team in there.
Yeah.
So he left the Tartan Rose, started a team in hashtag, got a couple of locals involved, and a couple of players from Tartan Rose went with him as well. So that gave us a brand new team. Clapham's Inn's a brand new team as well. They started their team in the Claphams, or restarted a team in the Claphams 2-3 years ago. Got a lot of interest for the locals. They ended up with about 16 players in their team, which was just, it wasn't feasible for them to continue trying to run one team with 16 players. So they split into 2. So they now have one team in the first division and one team in the second division, and that's all just through the popularity of one team in the pub doing well.
Yeah.
And it's the only pub we've got left in Linwood. Linwood used to have 4 or 5 teams in the league.
I remember a lot of teams in London, actually. Yeah. I'm loving these new names, but hashtag Bulls, Tartan Thunder. Should actually start doing that in every league, I think.
Well, it's up to the teams what they want to call themselves, to be honest. We've got a couple of Arrows teams. We've got a Clacking Arrows and a hashtag Arrows. We've got the hashtag Bulls. We've got the Hazelnuts.
That's a belter. No, I noticed like a lot of boys in the pool league started playing darts as well. Like Bob Gibson, Jamie Turner.
Yep.
There's quite a few of them all playing the darts league. I don't know how many's still there. Big Chris Hoggett as well. He was playing darts for a while. I
don't recognise that. I know Bob Gibson. He's a cracking player. He plays up in the Hazel Arms. And Bob's been playing darts for a few years now. Cracking personality, cracking player as well.
I used to play with him. We used to play in the pool team up in the Hazel. We'd always be sneaking there for a couple of games of darts during it.
Getting a bit of practice in.
But I know big Chris Hoggett. I don't know who he played for actually, but he was in it for quite a while. Pretty sure he ended up with counties, and then I think he just chopped pool for a while as well, and he's only just back in pool the last maybe 6 years. But he was a cracking big dart player or not.
Right.
Maybe in the Renfrew League, I don't know. But maybe. Yeah, I just noticed that a lot of the boys started, even in pockets, a few of them were all starting to play in the dartballs and stuff, so you could see them all. I think a lot of them are just love a beer as well. I went on Monday night as well as a Thursday.
There is a huge social side to playing darts as well. One of the teams that we've got, one of the local teams to here, in Houstons, they approached our league to play in our league, but they missed our registration night, so they actually play at Renfrew.
Right.
They play although they're based in Johnson, they actually play in the Renfrew League.
Do you think they'll come back to the league next year, or maybe just time?
Well, we thought they would come back and try and join our league this year, but for whatever reason they didn't come forward.
more travelling as well in it for them.
Yeah.
So finally, if there's anything else at all that you want to add to it, or Callum, you got any questions?
No, darts isn't one of my strong points. To be honest,
you can't count.
Well, I mean, likes a pool as well. Likes of the pool leagues. I don't absolutely know anything about them. I'm a bit clueless when it comes to stuff like that.
You notice when these subjects come up in this show, Callum just goes quiet.
Yeah, I do like to, listen into these like conversations. It's because it actually is quite interesting. But like the things behind it, like the rules and where they play and how it's all played, it's all kind of mumbo jumbo to me, and it's like
it's easy once you get used to it. It's like everything else. When we first put a pool team in, it was Elderslie in. That was way back in like 2010. We all played pub rules, so we had to learn the rules. Even though it was a really good team, it took us about maybe 4 or 5 years before we won the league in the second division. But we had a cracking team, but it was just getting the hang of playing in front of everybody, all the rules, and it kind of thing with you for a while. But after a couple of seasons, you know what you're doing. It's start to enjoy it more. Then all of a sudden you're teaching new teams, and
it's one of the things that when we get new players in, particularly if they've just been used to playing along with their mates and whatever, and then they sign for a team, there is a bit of change for them, because you can't tell a player what's left or what to go for when he's on a finish, etc. Whereas if you're playing with your mates can tell you, oh, this is what you should be going for. If you're playing league darts, that goes out the window, and it's all down to you. You need to be able to count.
Do you know, I've played darts for years, and that's the one thing I struggle to see, the checkouts. How many times I used to hit the ring double and they'd be all laughing, that's the ring, man. Honestly, I think I managed to hit a 10 darter years ago as well, and in the next game I think I hit maybe 14, 15 darts, great checkout, and it was I don't know if you remember a guy, Donald Cameron. He was in the leagues for years. He played in New Zealand. He was a cracking darts player, and he burst out laughing. He's like, you've done it again, that's a ring checkout. I was to beat him as well for the Christmas tournament. End up lost it. But no, I do love a game of darts. But listen, John, thanks so much for coming on. It's been a great insight to the league, and we really hope you pop back either later in the season or next season.
Yeah, it's not a problem.
Any more updates, anything else you would like to talk about? But thanks very much for your time and coming on.
Okay, thank you for inviting me.
Listen to Scoreboard Spotlight every Wednesday evening from 8 o'clock until 10 o'clock with myself, Ricky Kelly, Callum Carmichael and Davey Welsh, live from Johnston.